So how does the vaccine work? Scientists have taken the genes for the spike protein on the surface of coronavirus and put them into a harmless virus. This forms the vaccine. After it's injected, the vaccine enters cells which start to produce the coronavirus spike protein. This prompts the immune system to produce antibodies and activate killer T cells, which should recognize the coronavirus in future and destroy it, preventing infection. What would normally take years has been done in 3 months by scientists at Oxford University. Around 80 groups worldwide are developing coronavirus vaccines. A few others in the US and China have also started human trials. There's no guarantee any of them will succeed.
Personally, I'm very optimistic it's going to work. Formally, we are testing it in an efficacy study. There's absolutely no suggestion we're going to start using this vaccine in a wider population before we've demonstrated that it actually works and stops getting people infected with coronavirus.
The scientists will only know how effective the vaccine is if lots of volunteers are exposed to coronavirus.
Well, at this moment, we're chasing the end of this current epidemic wave. And of course, if we don't catch that, we won't be able to tell whether the vaccine works in the next few months. But we do expect that there will be more cases in the future because this virus hasn't gone away.
Why not simply infect people with coronavirus after they've had the vaccine? Then you'd know.
At this moment, it would be very difficult to do that with a disease which potentially has quite a high fatality. So I think if we reached a point where we had some treatments for the disease and we could guarantee the safety of volunteers, that would be a very good way of testing a vaccine.
The vaccine is stored in this freezer at minus 80 degrees. Rarely has a medical trial had so much riding on it for so many people. It is hard to overstate just how important this vaccine could be if, and it's a big if, it proves to be safe and effective. It would represent science giving us the solution to the coronavirus pandemic. The Oxford team are hoping to have 1 million doses of vaccine ready by September, with a huge scale-up in manufacturing after that. It's not clear, though, who would be prioritised to get the vaccine first. And for now, we have to wait and see if it works.
Researchers are exploring the prospect of adapting a tuberculosis vaccine for use against COVID-19. Results won't be out for some time. Foreign members said they've hit major hurdles in the development of new vaccines.
The whole world is working on getting out a usable vaccine in the next 9 months. Could our Food and Drug Administration work within its regulatory framework and create a fast-track authorization system like those created overseas to promote vaccines?
In the US, a phase 1 clinical trial began on a coronavirus vaccine on March 16th. The UK and Germany launched tests on humans in late April. China is already in phase 2 of clinical trials, while Israel plans to start trials this summer. So far, Taiwan has only run animal tests on vaccine candidates.
As the novel coronavirus spreads, it is also undergoing mutations. So far, Taiwan has identified 4 subtypes of the virus in its patients.
Isolate 25 viruses, and from genetic analysis, we found the virus got some diversity. It mutated during the past few months.
According to Dr. Shi, the earliest group of patients had a subtype very similar to the Wuhan virus. Later on, Taiwan saw 3 other versions of the coronavirus. One was imported from the US, the other from Europe, and the third from the Middle East.
So this is why we need many viruses for test. For example, if some antibody or antiviral drugs really can inhibit the early virus but cannot inhibit the recent virus, then the drug cannot be used or the antibody cannot be used.
Dr. Shi says that COVID-19 could end up being like the Spanish flu, which caused a pandemic in 1918. It continued to mutate after that, reappearing as a seasonal flu. Dr. Shi says the world may need to brace for a long fight against the coronavirus. However, compared to vaccines for influenza, COVID-19 vaccines won't need as much updating. That's because the novel coronavirus mutates 6 to 8 times more slowly than the flu.